Hello everybody, and welcome to the Whiskey Dictionary. Finally, I'm back. So, I've got a little bit of a show for you guys tonight. I think I'm actually going to probably keep this one a little bit shorter than normal, because I don't have a hard out at 8 o'clock, but that's kind of what I'm aiming for. My dog is literally licking a electrical socket, so I don't really know what to do with that. So here's what's going to happen tonight. For anybody who's never seen a Wheel of Doom before, this is where I pick a random whiskey. It's awesome, and I have no idea what I'm going to have. But these are things that have been sent in to me from viewers or various distilleries. They're basically just extras that I have. A lot of really, really good. A couple ones I hope I don't pick, but most of these are amazing. So let's go ahead and just say hi to a couple of people real quick. I saw that that Matt from Whiskey Crusaders was here. We have Go Habs. Oh, hey, Go Habs. It's been a little bit. John's here, David, another job, John, sorry. Alex has given me some crap. So I originally first started to try to do this stream. I actually realized, and who the heck would have thought my HDMI cable crapped a bit. So that was the problem today. If anybody saw the other stream go up at 7 o'clock and then just go away, I could not figure out what's going on, but all things considered, a like $10 HDMI cable, cause it's HDMI to micro, whatever. Rather than having my actual Elgato $130 stream thing broken, better situation. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to start off before I pick something randomly. You might have seen this off screen. I have a brand new whiskey that I just got in the mail yesterday, and I'm kind of dying to open it. So this is called the Injury. I know nothing about this. Let's even just put that out there. I don't know if it's good. I don't know if it's bad. I don't know where it's from. I don't know anything about it except what's on the bottle. So this is called Injury Single Malt Indian Whiskey. My thinking is that this is a fairly new distillery. However, it is, let's see, there's no age statement. It's non-chill filtered. It's no color added. 46%. It's called Trini, or Trini probably, the 3-wood. So Injury in Sanskrit refers to the 5 senses, or Indriya. Smell, taste, touch, sight, and sound. Okay. This is one thing I noticed, that it's put out by Piccadilly. So that's something. All right. 6-row Indian barley. That is great. Actually, that's a good sign. It's manually harvested by hand, selected for malting. Okay. That's cool. Blah, blah, blah. Everything else looks, okay. Last piece that matters. So this is ex-bourbon casks, ex-French wine casks, and then PX sherry casks. So that sounds pretty fantastic. All right, let's go ahead and open this with my fingernails that I just cut. Hopefully this works. Gotta stop, having good hygiene, I suppose, when whiskey's on the line. Alrighty. So, ooh, I like that. I don't know if you guys can see that, but no, you can't really see that. The top is kind of this really nice, grainy, like stained wood color. I don't know if it's actually wood or not, but it is actual cork. So I don't know. This is kind of nice. I don't know price on this. Actually, if anybody's interested and wants to look up price on this, that would be a good help for the stream here. So they didn't ask me to do this. I just wanted to try it and thought it'd be a good start to the night to have some not cask strength whiskey. All right, so let's see what we got. Could just be a non-distiller producer. Could be. Just tried it this weekend. It's pretty good, but nothing amazing. Okay. Visited the Nashua liquor store on January 2nd. The shelves were empty. Wow, that's a little surprising. Which one in Nashua? It's where I went to college, actually. I'm going to toss this little guy. All right, let's go ahead and have a sip of this. Okay, it's really fruity. I said sip, but we're going to smell it first. It's really fruity. It's got some of those typical Indian spices. It's got like a little bit of pineapple, like a tropical fruit thing going on there. Very candy sweet. Whenever I smell something this sweet, it doesn't smell anything like strawberries, but it always reminds me of those little strawberry candies, the ones that came in a little strawberry package, but has nothing to do with that. It just reminds me of that. Indri contacted me and asked me to do a video for them. I told them I charge $200 an hour, 4-hour minimum, and they want a video on my channel. I charge a $400. They passed. Yeah, I mean, I often will, especially Indian whiskey is something that I care a lot about, Irish and Indian whiskeys. And so the idea of one that I hadn't heard of coming to my door was something that is going to not only be interesting to me, but also probably going to help me with a video that I'm planning on. All right, anyway, so cheers. Sorry, I need another sip. I kind of blew that one. I don't know that it has been very, very rare where I've had a sip of whiskey without saying cheers on this channel. I don't know the last time, but I blew it. Oh well, it's Friday. Okay. Well, I will say it drinks a little bit hotter than 46%. Not by much. I probably would have pegged it at like 50. But that's off the first sip, so we'll see how that holds up. The flavor, it tastes a little heavily oaked. So let's see. Ex-bourbon casks, ex-French wine casks, and then PX sherry casks. Now on the initial flavor, the PX sherry is not coming through very well. Kind of at all. Definitely on the nose it was. That's a lot of what I was getting. However, not even, you know? That's interesting. So I hope that the next couple sips help out. I'd get a little better. Hey, Dave. Malort for the win. Malort for the win being in the chat makes me happy. I'm curious if that's anybody that we know and just a test, like a throwaway name, or if that's actually the name. All right, let's see what else we got. Okay. Pennsylvania liquor price hike. Last act from an outgoing administration with 10 days notice, utter shite. I did not hear about that, but that's pretty BS. Unrelated to whiskey, but my news sources have been overflowing with stuff related to D&D this week. I know you guys don't necessarily care, but I'll keep it very brief. Long story short, Wizards of the Coast, who's the company that owns D&D, or did before Hasbro just bought them up, they had this open gaming license that they're basically going back on. And it's like a huge deal because it's been in place for a long time, and a lot of companies started their whole business around it. So it's been something interesting to watch, but because of that, I haven't paid as much attention to whiskey. So sorry about that. Oh, nice. Fan of my other channel. Awesome. Okay, so overall, I mean, this is initial impressions. I shouldn't say overall, because I'm going to review this probably in a couple of weeks. Yeah, not bad, not great. It's not like wowing me the way that most Indian whiskeys do, which is disappointing. So I'm going to give this a couple of weeks to open up before I really make any sort of judgment call on this. So initial impression, though, not amazing. Not bad, though. It's just mediocre. And did anybody end up finding the price on this by any chance? Let me know what you think of the price, because anything over like if they're trying to charge like $80 for this, that's obscene. I would guess that'll be probably $60. Would be fair for that in my mind. but I also don't necessarily know that I would recommend it based off what I just got. All right, let's go ahead. We're going to have a sip of water here. $60 online. Okay, nailed it. Ben said it was 70. Okay. All right, well, either way, I'm glad that it's not, you know, $100. That would be just obnoxious. All right. The reason that you're all here today is to pick a whiskey at random and see how my day goes. So here we go. So I hover my little hand over here. My little hand, yeah, because, you know, that's what a man says. I hover my hand over this whiskey selection and I make my choice. I need to come up with like a chant of something like, you know, wheel of whiskey, turn, turn, turn. Show me how my taste buds can burn. I don't know. So this is the Westland 901 cask strength, which, if I remember correctly, figures 123.14. Well, I'm going for it, and I'm going to dump this one out because it was already a half sample, which means that it's the second time it's shown up on the channel. I'm wondering, is this, was this Jason's pick, Westland 901 cask strength? Oh, that's your pick. Okay, awesome. So this is Matt's pick or not Matt. This is the Whiskey Crusaders pick. Excellent. Well, it already smells good, and I think I need a little bit more water to get the taste of the. Oh, Jason Scott and okay, yeah. Awesome. So that I remembered properly. So I will say I already know I love this one. I'm going to try to get through this one fairly quickly because, as I mentioned to some of you, it's going to be a little bit of a shorter episode tonight. My wife is out skiing with the kids, and when she calls, I got to order some pizzas. So when she calls is roughly about when I'll stop the stream. All right. Cheers, everybody. And cheers to Jason and Scott and the Crusaders for putting out an amazing Westland that I already know I'm going to love. There's a flavor there that I don't think I got before. Matt, do you remember what the mash bill on this was? I'm curious. I don't want to sound dumb, but like some of the flavors I'm picking up here are definitely indicative of a rye, but I have no idea what they did with this barrel, so I don't necessarily want to guess. Yeah, I mean, I'll order a pizza for somebody. If the super chats go up, I'll do a random act of pizza. Oh, it's 100% barley. Okay, so what kind of cask was it in? Sorry to kick that one back. I'm making up for lost time. But I've also, I wouldn't say I've been participating in this whole dry January thing, but I am kind of on the road to losing some weight. So I am hoping that I'm like drinking a lot less. I'm not having a beer most nights anymore. I'm pretty much only drinking when I'm doing stuff on the channel. However, I'm heading up to New Hampshire this weekend, and I imagine that will kind of get thrown away. So we'll see. Okay. Let's just jump right into the next. Let's just jump right into the next one. All right, we're gonna have some whiskey selection. Wheel of whiskey, turn, turn, turn. I'm trying to figure out what the other person was trying to say. Like, na 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 na. I don't know. All right, let's just grab this one. Eric Waite says he's been doing dry January as well. He hasn't peed his pants once. Well, that's an accomplishment for a man your age, Eric. Yellowstone 101 9-year 2019 limited edition. I know that every time that something Yellowstone comes up on this channel, I talk about Yellowstone. I will avoid spoilers, just in case anybody doesn't want to hear them. I'm actually going to toss that one. But season 5, I think is fine, but I don't necessarily know that it's my favorite season so far, and I'm a little PO'd that, although I believe this is the way that things always are, I'm annoyed that the season stopped halfway through and now we have to wait for the summer. That's annoying. All right. Well, so Matt says it was first fill American on that Westland, so I have no idea what the hell I was tasting. Drinking Port Charlotte. I don't know why I read that as Good Charlotte. Drinking Port Charlotte 10 and Ardbeg 10 tonight. David, I'm actually a little jealous of you. I have all these good whiskeys here, but that sounds like a perfect night to me. I freaking love Port Charlotte 10. So here's a question for the all of you out there. What am I trying to ask? Port Charlotte has a number of various offerings. Like they have the Isle of Barley, they have the Isle of Barley. No, they have a couple of different things. What should I get? So I love the Port Charlotte 10. I know that the Isle of Barley comes out every year, so that's going to vary. There's other, unless I'm mistaken, there's other things that Port Charlotte does, though. Jack Daniel's single barrel in the glass. Nice. Port Charlotte is definitely a banger. Drinking some Ardbeg, I know, right now, though. Yeah, man, Port Charlotte, so good. So good. All right, so this one actually smells pretty good. Yellowstone 9-year limited edition. So I will say I want to look at this bottle for a sec. You guys won't be able to see it. Oh, okay, good. It was on the outside. There was like a weird little funky dot here, brown dot, that looked like dried whiskey, and I thought it was on the inside of the bottle, and I was a little worried that it had done something to it, but that's why I threw it away instead of recycling it. It just looks messed up. All right, anyway. So how was your week, everybody? It was kind of like a weird one, right? Coming back from, I don't know. I think we had, last Monday off, and now this was our first full week back. At least it was for me. It was a weird one. It just kind of happened. Like, I feel like nothing significant happened with me this week. Like, I had a couple good meetings, but, like, what kind of accomplishment is that? It was just kind of like a lot of nothing, I guess. I don't know. Anybody have anything that they were celebrating this week? That's actually kind of a good question to ask. Maybe I should start leading with that. Like, who's celebrating tonight? Because we're hanging out. My intent is, by the way, to start doing these live streams on Fridays. My family's basically, they're skiing every Friday until, I want to say like midway through March. So my plan is to live stream every Friday night. So look for that. I kind of was like on the fence about this one, and then when I had the technical issues, I almost cut the cord. But I almost cut the cord's the wrong term. Well, it was an HDMI cable that was wrong. Either way, I almost didn't do it tonight, but I was like, I gotta just go, and I want to get into live streaming. I say this at the beginning of every year, and I'm gonna do it this year. Ooh, that tastes interesting. Okay, what does this remind me of? It's probably the best way to start. I can't even back up because the dog is sleeping right on the wheel of my chair. It's reminding me of one of the Corsair whiskeys. A little bit of, I think they had like a chocolate rye, which is not necessarily this. It's more just, there was something about Corsair that's reminding me of this. 9 years old for a bourbon is fairly old, but this actually tastes a little bit young to me. Matt, anytime that you want more vials, I'll just ship you some new ones. If you want to fill them, I'm more than happy to pay for them. Okay, so as far as the taste of this one goes, it's... You know how sometimes you'll try a whiskey and you just know this is not one that you would sip and have multiple pours of, but you like it and you kind of want to have it around for like an occasion? Like if I had this bottle on my shelf, I would literally have it for years, but I would go to it every now and then. The taste here is it's a little bit drying in the way that like Listerine is once you like, or mouthwash, whatever. If you use mouthwash and then you like breathe, it's like that cool mintiness, but it's like really drying, but it's not crazy high ABV. So it's not, I mean, it is the alcohol, but it's almost, I guess I would just say there's like a minty flavor to it. But as far as what else could I even pick out of this? There's really not a lot going on. Oat Rage was pretty... Yeah, I didn't get to try that one. They sent me 3 bottles forever ago. They sent me the Triple Smoke, the some sort of rye, maybe malted rye. And then they sent me a bottle of gin. So whenever any of these small distilleries or craft distilleries or whatever come to me and they're like, hey, we'd like to send you something, I always ask them if they have any gin. And I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm happy to feature it on the channel. That's no problem. Send me a bottle of gin as well, because my wife really likes gin. So I do something for her so that I can keep doing this. Yeah. Got to play that 4D chess. All right, so what are we celebrating this week? We've got can't complain, had a day off, and my first day as a career USPS employee tomorrow. Well, pinch hitter, congratulations. Nice, excellent. Let's see, Whiskey Crusaders. Oh, awesome. You had your landlord come to the table and accepted. That's great. So what's your timeline looking like? I'm still dying to come out to Texas. So David celebrated being an awful bassist by buying a second bass. I like that. Won the Oregon lottery this week and got a George T. Stagg. Nice. Wow, a lot of you guys have some cool stuff this week. I hit 5 years at my job, won a $1,000 gift card to new countertops, and learned something else that made me buy a $550 bottle to blow. More to come once it arrives. Alex, I'm interested. Intrigued even. Let's see. Celebrating Friday the 13th with Jason. Yep. Okay. That's cool, Eric. I hope things go well for you. Who's spinning the whiskey? It is like a tabletop thing. All right. I gotta go into. I gotta finish this one up so I can keep going. 3 to 4 months sounds good to me. So in the middle of summer, I'm gonna be coming out to Texas. Cool. All right, let's grab another whiskey. Boom. This one. What are you? You are. Yay. Bunabin Toichada. Yes. Nice. To each their own. All right, this is a 46.3%. I'm only going to pour some of this because I already can feel that last couple whiskeys starting to hit, and less so about the alcohol, but more so about the palate. So I'm going to drink some water. I know Bunabin tends to be a little bit more nuanced, so I think you are right, pinch hitter. This is one of your samples. Yeah, no, I completely agree, Alex. A lot of people having a strong start. Let's see. If I were asked that question, what am I celebrating today? You know what I'm celebrating? I know exactly what I'm celebrating. So, as of right now, I'm busting out the phone. As of right now, I am at 59,955 subscribers, which means I'll probably hit 60,000 subscribers this weekend. That's worth celebrating, just a little early. So, if you are watching this and you are a new subscriber, welcome to the channel. Typically, I'm a little bit more put together than this, maybe only like by like a smidge. Oh, hey! This is totally, I swear, watching this must just be like ADD for you guys. I feel like I'm always all over the place. I need to have a plan for these live streams, but I'm not going to do that because why would I? I have a new idea for a live stream format, and it's going to involve other people, and I'm going to start doing it very soon. Probably not this upcoming week, but maybe the following week. It's kind of like a trivia, but not. Because, you know, doing like a Jeopardy style, like it's like that's being done. I think Aquavitae does that. I have a different idea, and it's going to probably have like 2, maybe 3 contestants. So I'm going to reach out to other whiskey tubers, have them on. And I think this could be a really fun idea. Problem that I'm seeing right now is going to be the time of day that I'm now going to be trying to stream, which is probably going to be like 7 or 8 p.m. on Fridays. I guess I'll aim more for 8 o'clock because that's 5 p.m. Western time. So we'll figure it all out. For the moment, though, I'm going to try to do somewhere between 7 and 8 and figure out where I fall in there. Eric, wait, what time do you go live on Fridays when you are typically streaming? Which I believe that you are in. Sorry, I got distracted by the chat. I believe you're taking a break at the moment to do some research. Yeah, Go Habs, I completely agree with you. My numbers make absolutely no sense, and a lot of it has to do with the Conor McGregor thing. When the Conor McGregor video dropped, which currently still my top video of all time at like 650,000 views, something like that. When that video happened, I got just an insane amount of subscribers. I want to say like 16,000 subscribers, just something absolutely insanity. And obviously that helped, and my channel has grown considerably since then. But I mean, we're still talking another 30 something thousand people, if not more. Math is hard. 40,000 something people that don't just tune into the streams, but that's because I'm not consistent. So I don't know. We need a Friday ADHD fever dream whiskey stream. Keep it up. I don't know. What time does ADHD whiskey go live? Does he go on? Oh, Eric, did you start streaming on Saturdays? Yeah, I don't know. How about this? Do you guys have any questions about whiskey? Because I like, test me. I mean, maybe not test me, but like, I know a lot of stuff at this point. But there's a lot of you guys that just drink whiskey casually. Take advantage of this just stupid amount of knowledge that I've picked up over the years. Yeah, I don't know. I agree with you, Alex. There are certain channels that appease the algorithm more than I do. And I've always been a bit of a student of YouTube, so it's tough because I know what I need to do. And I just don't necessarily want to do it, which is fine. Except the problem is that my desire is to grow as a channel. ADHD goes live at 10 p.m., but no thumbnail yet. The Bourbon Wrench is off this week, and I'll be going live as soon as you wrap up. Awesome. All right, so starter whiskeys. Awesome question, Doyle. Fantastic. Always a great question. Give me a topic, though. Do you want to go all around, or do you want to go like Scotch or Bourbon or Irish or whatever? Give me some direction, or give me something that you like, and I'll riff off that. That sounds actually pretty good. When's my Jim? You know what, Alex? My Jim Beam Black review is coming this year. I do not own it yet, but given the nature of what I want to do with the channel this year, 100% I will be doing Jim Beam Black. And for anybody who missed it, the concept is this. It's something I should have like thought about a little bit more, but I announced it as affordable whiskeys. But somebody else pointed out, why not like attainable whiskeys, just as a slight variation on that. And I like that more because not only, you know, if I just review like $20 whiskeys all year, it'll be fine. I'll do great views. I'm just going to have a crappy year because all I'm going to drink is not so great whiskeys. However, I love attainable. Like if I couldn't go into any store and buy a thing, that's a great whiskey to review. So that's kind of what I'm going to aim for. I'm going to try to keep the costs down because in the last few years, and I've seen this on other channels too, in the last few years, I have gotten to the point where I've reviewed a lot of the easy stuff, a lot of the cheaper stuff, and reviewing stuff that nobody can get their hands on, it not only is it just self-defeating, but it's not interesting to me. I don't really love when a video gets 600 views, like the Amaret one I put out today, right? Like that's my 9 out of the last 10 videos as far as popularity. It's performing terribly. However, like nobody can get that, right? It's already sold out. If you buy it, it's going to be expensive. However, I will also say, like, honestly, whatever you can buy that one for, just do it. It's freaking awesome. Anyway, all right, let's back up here. So, is Springbank worth the hype? Yes. All right, short answer is yes. Don't bother, in my opinion, don't bother with the Springbank 10. Get something higher. Get the 12 cast strength. Oh my God, if you ever see it, get the 12 cast strength. Get the 18 if you see it. That's awesome. But it is expensive. But myself and anybody else that you ask will agree that it's worth the price. All right. How many top videos can you make? Yeah, I don't know how to answer that. Can you catch any whiskeys on fire if it's neat? Absolutely. I actually used to have a trick where it was not whiskey, it was Sambuca. So you know this is going to be a good story, right? So I would take a rocks glass and I poured Sambuca in it, and I would stick my finger in and I'd rotate it around, and then I would take the whiskey, keep it in my mouth. I would light my finger on fire, and then I would go like that, and then the flame would shoot up out of my mouth, and then I would close my mouth, the flame would go out, and I would like whack my hand on something, and then I would swallow it, and it was amazing. And I performed this trick in a bar once. Immediately was told by the bartender, never ever do that again. So I didn't. I did it. I actually used an ice luge one time. with this trick. I was like, hey, pour some Sambuca. So they poured it down. I had it go in my mouth, and I ran my finger up the thing, up the ice luge, lit my finger on fire, lit it on fire. It was awesome. Okay, so let's go back to the questions here. You guys have actually never heard that story. If I ever stream outside, maybe I'll do that. Blown away by how good JB Black, blah, blah, blah. Beginner whiskey cocktail. Let's go to that. So a best beginner whiskey cocktail. Okay, you have several different options. I think the absolute best beginner whiskey cocktail would be a Irish Mule. Because if you are a beginner to whiskey, you need to realize that chances are you're going to hate the burn still, and the Irish Mule eliminates it completely. The obvious answers here are a Manhattan and an Old Fashioned, right? I disagree with those. They taste too much like whiskey. If you are a beginner to whiskey, you probably don't love the taste of whiskey yet. Go with an Irish Mule. Awesome. All right. After that, go with an Old Fashioned. Once you enjoy the Old Fashioned, go with a Manhattan. Once you enjoy a Manhattan, there's really very few others to go to. But that would be the order I would suggest for somebody, especially like, I don't want to, let's even just say if your spouse does not enjoy whiskey and you want them to, start them with an Irish Mule. I think that would be a best way to go. All right. Let's see. John, it will be your mouth, but wait, John, it will, but your mouth will. Okay. Sorry. I thought you were saying that you'd love John's mouth. I don't know. All right. Let me finish this whiskey, picking one more, and then I'll keep answering questions. Okay. Bunabin Tuichida, fan-freaking-tastic. I'm going to keep this one for the wheel later. That one's really, really good, though. All right, let's go to whiskey selection. Pick one more, because it's already after 8 o'clock. All right, what do we got? Oh, perfect way to finish it. We got Ardbeg Wee Beastie. However, I'm going to pour this out. I'm going to pour the whole thing. May or may not drink the whole thing, but I have a Wee Beastie behind me, so I'm not as interested in keeping it. This one's from Mark Reyes, so thank you, Mark, if you ever see this, or if you're in the chat and I missed it. All right, so what else we got? So, well, guess it'll take 10 and 15 for sure. The 18 was worth... Is the 18 worth $300? No, maybe. It's tough, because the last time I saw the 18 on the shelf, it was $180, and that was less than 2 years ago. I don't know how much it's increased by then. It's really hard to say, because I have tried a sample of the 18, but it was before I decided that I liked Springbank. So I don't have a good opinion, but I think other people in the chat probably could help. Thanks for making me poor guy. Yeah, okay. As you go over $150 or so, what bourbons are actually worth the money, excluding ones marked up into the stratosphere by the secondary market? That's an interesting question. I'm trying to think of which whiskeys would even be that high. My gut tells me none. There is zero reason that a bourbon should cost that much, but there was one, and I'm actually gonna look this up real quick. Excuse me. Parker's Heritage Bourbon. You guys will see where I'm going with this. Parker's Heritage did a thing. Hold on. Friggin'. I was born May 12, 1983. Okay. All right. Yes. All right. Let's do this. So browser. Give me a sec. Window cap. Heaven Hill. All right. So this one right here. Parker's Heritage Collection. If you could ever find this, pay whatever they're asking. It is one of the coolest things I've ever tasted. That's about it. Actually, there is one more that's coming to mind. Oh, the current edition. Interesting. I don't want to sit here and read internet stuff. Anyway, I would suggest you find the Parker's Heritage stuff. There was also a I'm not going to be able to remember. You guys will have to help me out here. There was another whiskey that did a collaboration where they aged themselves in some sort of orange flavored something. And I thought it was Parker's Heritage actually as well. What the hell was it? I don't know. All right. Kids, Bill is a professional. Don't try this at home. All right. What else we got? I love this. I like questions. Like bourbons you can actually find or order online. Okay. Buy in California, then fam remembers. All right. I want to party with you. Yeah, man, it'd be great to party. Thanks, Bill. I demand the Sambuca trick at the ball this year. That could be really fun, actually. Maybe we'll do that. Sorry I got carried away, but you're pretty much answering it here. Okay. No, you should get carried away. Like, ask whatever you want. A perfect Manhattan is amazing. I agree. That's usually what I'll order. I actually prefer a Manhattan like 5 times more than an old fashioned. I find old fashions are fine, but I almost feel guilty ordering an old fashioned because it feels like it's just ruining the flavor of the bourbon that it's in, whereas a Manhattan really accentuates the rye. And you can order a Manhattan with a bourbon if you want to, and it'll still be really, really good. So, but only if they're using a really good sweet vermouth. So keep that in mind. I recommend the Antigua. That's really, really, really the only one that I'll use. It's so good. Or Antica, something like that. You'll know which one it is. It's like $30 for sweet vermouth, but it lasts forever. Just use it. All right. Tasting a wee dram of Springbank 15. I'm a little jealous, Eric. Sounds good. Eric, heck yeah. Gatsby 15-year. Honestly, I can't even think of a bourbon I'd find on any shelf that's priced that high. See, that's where I was, Alex. It's hard to even think of something like that, let alone worth the money. Sugar Kitty is saying meow, so that's a thing. One of my lights just turned off. Strange. All right, let's what am I? Oh, Wee Beastie. All right, I've already had this before. It's amazing. It's contesting with the Ardbeg 10 in my mind. It's very different, but it's super good too. All right, cheers. All right, the Curacao. Yes, that's what I was thinking of. I was thinking Curacao, but I'm like, there's blue Curacao, but there's also orange Curacao. If you can find the Parker's Heritage that was finished in orange Curacao, oh my God, so fucking good. Oh, sorry for swearing. It's so freaking good. I won a raffle a month ago. One of the choices was one of the Parkers, but I don't think it was that one. Rye done in Naranja? Like orange? Orange Curse. Yeah, I thought so, right? Like Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend, straight bourbon, whiskey, $175. It is worth it. I would believe that. I have been on the lookout for a cigar blend for years at this point, and I just never, ever, ever see them on the shelf. It's the kind of thing that even if I saw it at like just stupid like I'd pay up to like $200 for it, and just to have it because I'd love to try it. Let's see. Yeah, Parker's Curacao was a thing. Okay, cool. Starlight, I think, did a rye like that. Driftless Glen did a bourbon. Sugar Kitty, okay, cool. Question for you guys. So I announced this on the kind of like the whiskey of the year things in the recap video. So my intent is to do at least 2 barrel picks this year. Found North is, that's happening. I am beyond excited for it. Like everything I've tried from them is just, it's like some of the best whiskeys I've ever had. And this sounds tacky as hell, I guess, but like I'm psyched to be able to pick one of their barrels and just do that and get it to you guys. Like I don't know how many bottles I'm going to keep for myself, but it's going to be more than a couple. I'm just so excited to choose that. So here's a question for you guys. What other whiskeys should I do a barrel selection with? I have the numbers to convince most distilleries to work with me unless they are just straight up like not doing barrel picks, right? Like Four Roses I can't get. Old Forester I can't get. I talked to Knob Creek the other day. They said they're like backed up to the moon at the moment, but I'm on a list, which means it's not happening. So think like a little smaller. But I'm dying to like do another barrel pick. I want to get into this rhythm of like doing a few every year and getting them out to you guys. I have a distributor now. It should be a lot easier. I thank you guys for ordering as many 3 quarts as you did. You helped me move, I want to say about 170 bottles out of 180. I kept 4 of them, and then I sold a number of them in person. Actually, probably a little bit more. Anyway, that won't be the case anymore. I actually have a distributor this time. You can buy it off their site. They'll get it to you. It's shippable everywhere, et cetera, et cetera. So I actually have the means, and just to put this out there, even though it was a totally fruitless situation, I didn't even hear back. I emailed Springbank and I said, hey, you guys do single barrels. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe someday they'll get back to me. I'm not expecting it. Hey, Korea, what's going on? Are you North or South Korea? I would guess the good one. Can I do Jim Beam or Wild Turkey? That's an interesting question. Maybe I'll reach out to them. You know what I should do? I should really just go over to Kentucky and just walk around. Well, he is from the good one. Yeah, that joke was too easy. So, nice to see you. You'll have to forgive me. I don't recognize your name. Are you one of my patrons? Because I do have a patron with a name in. So ignorant here. Like whatever characters those are. If you are, then welcome, and I'm glad you're here. If you're not, welcome, and I'm glad you're here. All right, let's see. What do we got? So we've got. I'm all in for Found North. I have a Found North batch 4, and seriously, such good. Seriously, dude, the 4. I wish that you guys could all have the 2. You know what I should do? This is 100% what I should do someday. I'm gonna do one of my live streams, or probably a few of my live streams. I'm going to make like a little care package. It's going to be some of my best whiskeys that I have on my shelves here. I'm going to do like 4 of them, and I'll put them in sample bottles, and that'll be the prize of the night. We'll do the typical like $5 super chat buy-in thing. I think that would be awesome because I have so many I have whiskeys that you guys can't get, not only in the United States, but just ever. Like they're just gone. And I want to share them because I don't need them all, right? Like, look at this stupidity. There's so many bottles behind me. I'm good for years. But batch 2 was so freaking good of Found North. If I can reproduce that, that's what I'm going for. Anyway. I have not tried 5 or 6 yet either. However, Nick is actually going to be on the channel on February 10th, I believe. I already booked him for the year. And we're going to be drinking 5 and 6. We might actually even do it in person, believe it or not. So that'll be pretty cool. All right. I'll be at Springbank in July for a week going through their school. Eric, give him my name. Just like slide a little piece of paper. All right. So let's finish off this Ardbeg wee beastie. We'll kick off the weekend in a good light. Best whiskey as he ships proper 12 Black Velvet. Oh my God. Jack Daniel's Apple and PB&W peanut butter. Oh. Why is Johnny right? Oh, you know what? Yeah, I actually moved it in front because I thought it was funny. And what's worse is I bought like the big bottle of it. I have a bottle of the Johnny Walker Black behind it, but I also have the mini bottle of Johnny Walker Black. Yeah, hilarious. It's just, I put it there hoping somebody would notice it. By the way, question for you guys, because I do it every freaking week. Do you know how at the beginning of my videos it says like, it comes out, it says like the whiskey dictionary or the whiskey dictionary, and then it has like a thing underneath it. I change that message every week. Has anybody even noticed? Nobody once has said a single thing. Look at that stupidity. Put that on a shirt. That actually would be pretty good. I have Kilhoman pick from a local store, and it's oh, that's an interesting idea. If you ever need to tempt Nick to be on your stream, offer him 90s Dreams of Klein Leash. I don't have to ever tempt him. Nick and I are cool. Like, I don't know what it is. You know how sometimes you'll just meet a person and it's like you could be best friends. Like, Nick and I are that way, and I have no idea why. Because we've met in person like 3 times. We've talked on stream a few times, and we've talked over email a bunch of times. Nick and I could hang out all day and just like say nothing. Like, we could like hang out and play video games, right? Like, I don't know. It's just, he's just a great guy. Nick is an awesome guy. I would love to go check out his whole operation and film it and let you guys see what that's like. And maybe I'll talk him into it. We'll see. Nick is a nerdy kind of, when I have Nick on, you guys will probably notice it, I just stop. Like, I'm just like, so Nick, tell me about this. Half hour later, Nick, you gotta stop. You gotta stop. We've lost half our subscribers. So, but he could teach me a million things all day. Let's see. I figured barrel picks were American only, but I'd also buy a couple of cases of an island. Oh my gosh. I have a contact at Ardbeg. He is or was, I don't know if he still is because I haven't heard from him in a while. He was somehow in charge of like Northeast sales or something like that. Maybe I should reach out to him and just be like, do you guys do barrel? Could you imagine an Ardbeg barrel pick? That would be my dream. Oh my gosh. That would actually be my dream. If I could pick any whiskey, Ardbeg barrel pick would be my whiskey. However, and he shouldn't listen if he is listening. Their yearly releases haven't been hitting it out of the park lately. Some of them do. I haven't tried the Hypernova. What'd you guys think of the Hypernova? Could you imagine an Ardbeg pick? That has me so excited to even consider. I'd pay a pretty penny for an Ardbeg 10 alone, let alone something older. Hypernova, not worth it. Okay, good. I loved Hypernova. 10 cask strength. Oh, there you go. If I just got my hands on a Ardbeg 10 cask strength, oh my god. I'm going to try to make that happen. I'm going to spend the next couple weeks reaching out to every Ardbeg employee that I've ever met, and I am going to try to make that happen. Could you even imagine? It's not Dark Cove. That is the best. Dark Cove is probably the best Ardbeg I've ever had. You know what else, though? I had the, what was it, the Supernova? That one was incredible. Should I pick one more whiskey? I think I should pick one more whiskey. Let me, where's my phone? Oh, it's over here. Let me make sure my wife hasn't already tried to get in touch with me. No, Mash and Drum is putting out another whiskey. Of course he is. Friggin' Jason, he's awesome. Hey, by the way, this is totally pandering to my audience at the moment. If you guys haven't subscribed to Dungeons and Drams, do me a favor and just do so. I'm trying super hard to hit that 1,000 mark because just all of the options open up at 1,000 subscribers. It's been really hard to hit that. It's been a while since I've had to grow a channel. This channel actually hit 1,000 subscribers when just about a year into it. But at that point, I was only putting out one video a month. Things were a little different back in the whiskey space back then. Now it's ridiculous. I feel like I'm subscribing to a new whiskey channel like once a week at this point. And there's a number of them that I don't even know exist. I subscribed to one the other day that had like 70 subscribers. And this is totally just patting myself on the back, being conceited. But I know for a fact, I know with me, and when you start a new channel, you typically do not turn off the subscriber notifications right away. So whenever a new person subscribes, you get an email and it says like, hey, the Whiskey Dick subscribed to you. And my hope is that this 79 subscriber channel saw that I subscribed to them and it was like, what? You know, that's just awesome. I'm on the fence. Like, I love that there's so many people enjoying whiskey, but what I see instead is like so many people coming into doing whiskey channels and not realizing what kind of commitment they're getting into. I started this channel the year my first daughter was born. And when I think about how many hours I've spent and how many lack of sleep I've had over this channel, like, I hope they know what they're getting themselves into. But we'll see. You know, there could be the next friggin' whiskey vault coming up anytime. And I think that's cool. So I'm happy with my channel either way. EMC Dungeons and Drams is so much fun. Thank you very much. I have a blast with it. Let's see. Oogie pick. Oh, you know, if I were gonna do any pick of Ardbeg, it would be the Corey Vrecken though. That would be cool. Cast strength would be amazing. Bernard is the owner of Ardbeg, is now the richest man in the world. Elon Musk is number 2. Really? I didn't know that. Maybe him and I can hang out. That'd be cool. Alexander, agree. Octomore is better. Well, yes. I mean, if you know what though, that's a tough one. I'm picking another whiskey. Let's just do this. All right, picking another whiskey because I need to now contemplate whether I'd rather have an Ardbeg, or an Octomore. All right, so this is a newer one. Russell's Reserve single barrel, regular, not a barrel pick, 55%. All right. I feel bad because I forget who sent me these, but he sent me like 12 of them. if you guys ever send me samples, write your name on them, especially if you want to be mentioned on a stream. All right, let's think about it. Octomore. All right, you know what? Actually, the dog finally moved. All right, I need props. Octomore and Ardbeg. Look at that black look at this thing. It's so good. Oh, it's so good. But here's the thing. Octomore does one thing, but it does it amazingly. If you want a smoky whiskey, Octomore is the one to pick. However, if you want smoke and flavor, Ardbeg, in my opinion, is a better choice. Of course, the middle ground there is Port Charlotte. So maybe that's what I should try to pick. Like if you were like, you would get Port Charlotte. So would I rather do a barrel pick from Ardbeg or Octomore? I mean, obviously Bunabin, right? But whatever. I think still Ardbeg. But I think I would be very judicious in my choice because I'm worried about what they would send me as samples. It might be something like the fermutation and just nah. But I don't know. I also probably wouldn't pick up. Wow, that's so low. Can you guys see that? Yeah, you can see that. Oh, poor Oogie. It's going to die so soon. All right. Is that a 13? No, this is the 10-year aged. It's the 5th edition, I believe. Super heavily peated, blah, blah, blah. This was one that I woke up at like 6:30 a.m. to order. And I was like number 300 in line to order something like, maybe there were like 1,000 of them or something like that. Ooh, this is good. This is the Russell's Reserve single barrel. Yeah. The pizza's definitely delivery, no worries. Yep. It was originally going to be me driving, but now Grubhub's going to be a thing. All right, let's see. The last thing we need is another bourbon review channel. Yeah, I agree with that. If you guys are ever considering starting up a YouTube channel about whiskey, don't do bourbon. It's like, I'm not going to say the name of the channel, but there was a point where I made a joke on one of these live streams about just an absolutely stupid name for a bourbon channel that could exist. And it was just like bourbon and then another word that began with a B. And I made it up off the top of my head. I was like, start a bourbon channel, call it the Bourbon, and then like 6 months later, that channel existed, which means that they didn't start that channel based off the name I gave it. It meant that they just came up with that name. And there's just too many of them. Don't name yourself Bourbon something. Name yourself something off your own name. Like Fred Minnick, right? Like he obviously had a following and he was a known person in the whiskey industry. Make your own brand. Don't be the Bourbon. I'm going to do another one. I'm looking around the room at what I could like Bourbon Bass. It could be like the Mash and Drum or the other channel that copies off of him. Except you only play the bass drum, and every time you take a sip, you just like, it's just stupid. Don't be gimmicky. If you're gonna do a whiskey channel, have some like, what's the word? I can't think of the word. Have some depth. Like, do something that everybody else isn't just doing. So, anyway. Yeah, John's got a good point. You're pigeonholing yourself if you're doing just bourbon. There's a reason I call this a whiskey dictionary, and even when that happened, I debated whether I should put the E in the name. I always intended on doing every kind of whiskey, because why on earth would I limit myself? It just didn't make any sense. There's a million good whiskeys out there. I don't want to drink only bourbon, because every single review is going to be like, hey guys, welcome to the Bourbon Base. This tastes like vanilla, caramel, and oak. And maybe some cherry. Okay, thanks. Bye. Remember to beat your drum. And beat that subscribe button. It just stupid, right? Yeah, anyway. The bourbon butt plug. I would subscribe to the Bourbon Butt Plug. If anybody wants to start a channel named the Bourbon Butt Plug, everything that I just said is out the window. I will subscribe to you, and I will be your #1 fan. So freaking funny. Anyway. All right, so let's see. Bourbon Barf. Damn you, Bourbon. Bourbon Bites. See, here's the problem with Clifton. Clifton's awesome. I love Clifton. Like, I actually am I used to travel to San Diego all the time for my job. I'm sad that I'll probably not meet Clifton unless he ends up at, like, the whiskey ball. But it just sucks that he's Bourbon Bites, because he could do anything. I wish it was like Whiskey Bites, and he could still have the BYTES. No, God, no. I never hate on Clifton. Clifton's awesome. Clifton plays in my D&D campaign. His character shoots lasers out of his nipples. Like, how can you hate that? Clifton's awesome. I'm a little sad that I didn't win his contest last night on his live stream, though. I threw in $10 to his super chat. So, yeah. Anyway. Eric, there's a second channel for you. Bourbon by Curious. There you go. I was raised in Western Kentucky, but now I'm branching out to all kinds of whiskey. That's awesome, Mr. Great Shot. I'm glad to hear that. You should. There's zero, like, there is zero. Eric, you can't keep saying stuff about bourbon butts. Like, it's going to make me laugh. It's going to distract me. So, all right. Here's a real question. My favorite whiskey is Bushmills. Which Bushmills? Let's start there. So that Russell's. Hey, Alex, nice. I knew that. So, all right, I'm gonna at some point tonight. Hold on. So Emily, I'm using the pen that you sent me. I'm gonna write this on my own hand. I'm gonna write Alex. Wow, it's like you can't not write in cursive with this pen. That's cool. Thank you again for the pen. I finally filled it up like this last week. I'm the worst for taking that long, but I really appreciate it. It was a really, really cool gift. Yeah. Anyway. Oh my God. Oh, Blackbush. Okay, cool. Okay. So, with the Blackbush, if you're thinking Blackbush Irish whiskey, here's some other alternatives. So Blackbush, if I remember correctly, Blackbush is finished with some. Let me just do this real. You guys should be able to see what I'm doing, so we'll do this. So we'll go Blackbush. Just don't ask me to type a P. Blackbush, Black Label. Let's read about Blackbush. Yes, I'm legal drinking age. Okay. All right. Exceptionally high amount of malt, married with lighter grain whiskey than matured in. All right. So it is sherry. I thought it was sherry, but I wasn't willing to say it out loud. So I guess. Did I ever? I might have even done a review on this. It probably would have been a long time ago. So the obvious choice, with anything Bushmills is go up higher, right? If you're going Bushmills, do not go over to Proper 12 because it's the same stuff, but it's like, oh, this isn't good enough to be Bushmills. Let's just freaking shit in a bottle and then put it on the shelf and call it call it Proper 12. Proper shit. All right. Let me get rid of this. Okay, so sherry finish Irish whiskey. That's a good question. I mean, I have to imagine Teeling has something for you. That would be probably where I'd start. I'd have to Google it. Mr. Great Shot, we don't talk. All right. Are there any Irish whiskeys that are finished in sherry? There has to be a Teeling that is. Like, there just has to be. What else would have... There's no Jameson aged in sherry that I know of. Redbreast PX. Yep, that's Oloroso. That's a bit pricey. Like, if you're used to buying Bushmills 20 black, you're not necessarily going to spring for the Redbreast PX. Here's what I would suggest. If you like the Bushmills black, you should navigate over to Scotch and grab something like a no. Not a no. I'm sorry. A knock. ANCNOC. Get like the Enoch 12. I feel like I'm saying that wrong. A no. Is it not a no? A knock? Yeah, because it's not Agnock, it's Anok. Yeah, get the Anok 18. Like, that would be an amazing whiskey, but that's also pricey. Get the 12. See what you think. Aside from that, I mean, I could go on and on about sherry finished scotches. There's a million of them out there. You know, freaking get the Ardbeg Ugadale. That's a sherry finished scotch. It's super good. Yeah, it is a knock. I was doubting myself, and I don't know why. All right. Slane Redbreast. Oh, that's a good one. Slane is a very good choice. Yeah, you know what? Similar price point, cheaper. Is Sexton sherry finished as well? That might be. Listowel as well. That's. I actually have that one. That one will be featured in this year's Irish Whiskey Month. The Redbreast PX is Oloroso. Is it? Oops. I knew that was gonna happen. No, I knew it. I didn't think it was Oloroso. This is PX sherry. Yeah. Oh, duh. The wife is calling. All right. So, here we go. I am going to end the stream. Sorry for the abruptness. But I'm going to end it because I need to go order a pizza and get everything all set up for the family to return. So, I went about a half hour longer than I expected. I appreciate you guys all hanging out, and I hope you had a great time. And, yeah, buy some Indian whiskey. That's your homework assignment. All right. I'll talk to you all later. Good night. Cheers.